Well, hello and welcome people of the internet to Drakefall, a new dark fantasy deck builder that's popped up on the Steam page. There's currently an open playtest and that's where we're going to be trying out. The game comes out in 2025 and let's see what the game has to offer. Overall, I think this is a very small thing, but just the like scrolling through the cards, it has like this cool 3D effect that's kind of different than the other games that I've seen. So I'm curious to see what this one has to offer, you know, that differentiates it from other deck builders on the market. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop in. Now, I am, be prepared. It is going to be a short run. The developer has said that this is kind of just like first impression type material. There's going to be a further demo that comes out later on, but just kind of be aware that this is kind of a small version of what the game is or will be. So we have Kale the Ashen Blade, 65 health. Looks like we start with 100 gold, which is pretty nice. His ability, Burning Blood, shuffle 3 worked up to your draw pile. Add 1 max HP after every fight. Okay, so we'll have to see what worked up is. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like we have a pretty standard Slay the Spire beginning here. We can remove a card, obtain a random curio. So maybe curio is like a relic. Choose 1 of 3 rare cards to obtain, but we lose all our gold. Or transmute 2 cards, obtain a doom card. Well, I don't know what any of that is. Let's take a look at our deck here. So let's see. We have 5 strikes. We have 3 guards. Okay, so very Slay the Spire start already. Worked up. Okay, so this is the card that we were looking at before, or that is part of our ability. Aetheric, unplayable, draw 1 card when drawn. If this card is depleted, gain 3 guard. Okay, so I can't click and see what the keywords are. So, unplayable, that's pretty obvious. Draw 1 card when drawn, pretty obvious. If this card is depleted, so I would assume depleted is either discarded or removed from the game. Not sure which, and I don't know what Aetheric means. Gain 8 guard, deplete a card in hand. Okay, so this works with worked up. If depleted, add a random card to hand. Okay, so if I deplete this, add a random card to my hand? Based on the way it's worded, that's what I'm assuming. Wide Swing. Deal 9 damage to all enemies and apply defenselessness. So I'm hoping in the game we're going to get keywords defined. But either way, we have some AoE at the start. So let's just go ahead and, I think I'm just going to get rid of a guard. Or no, let's find out what a curio is. Okay, so it is a relic. Gain 1 agility. Well, I don't know what that is. Now this is the other thing that I'm looking forward to seeing how it evolves. So there's a constellation system here. And each of these, it looks like, has different levels that you can choose where you get different benefits. So we could choose a common card, we could upgrade a card, or we could gain some gold. I think I'm just going to take an upgrade. Because, let's see, so level 2, gain 30 to 40 gold, gain a random curio, or enhance a card. Is there a difference between enhance and upgrade? Either way, I'm going to take an upgrade. Oh, I figured that the first clicking would then bring me to this menu. It should probably do... Honestly, it should probably do the wide swing, right? Oh, I was like, what changed? Apply 2 defenselessness. Is that worth it? Yeah, because if it works the way that Slay the Spire does, if you only apply 1, it only applies it for that turn. So I would rather have it for the next turn as well. So yeah, we'll do that. Go to map. Okay. So, looks like we have kind of 4 different pathways, but the pathways branch off to each other. Let's see. So, we have Minor Enemy, Shadow Biome, gain 1 ward, enemies gain +1 might, Fire. Oh, so each one of these color sections is a biome? In the Poison Biome. So, each biome has a different, let's see, 4 Immolate, 4 Immolate, 4 Immolate. Okay, so each biome has a negative effect to it. So we would gain 4 Immolate in anything in here. Shuffle 2 goo into your draw pile. And then what's this? Enemies gain 1 might. I feel like the might is probably the easiest one to deal with. So let's do that. I don't know what the gain 1 ward is. Oh, but we gain more gold on rewards. I didn't even think to look at the positives. At the start of the combat, add Scroll Fireball into the draw pile. Let's try out the most biomes we can. So what is the pathway that I could do the most? Probably from here, 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 and here, but then I lose out on a shop. Where are my shops? There's a shop here, but if I hit that, I can't... Oh, no, no, no. I can hit shadow, fire, 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 poison, poison. And that hits all three? Perfect. Let's see what all these are. Okay, so dexterity. That's from this. Ward. Blocks next debuff. So is agility dexterity? Those words are adjacent to each other. But if that's the same, I would definitely think of making them identical. Let's see. So we got a bunch of slimes here with a bunch of different icons. What are we doing here? 7 damage, 7 damage. I don't know what this eyeball is. Hovering over it doesn't tell me anything. Increases attack damage by 1. Okay, they all have that. Cannot unify into medium slime. The end of the turn, 2 small slimes create 1 medium slime. Ooh. But you can't do that yet. Okay. We're taking 14 damage. So let's do the gain 9. Get rid of this. This should bring me up to 12. Wait, why did I get a card? If depleted at a random card. Oh, so okay, so I think the formatting of this card is a little off. Right? Because this I think should say deplete a card in hand. If you depleted a card, add a random card to your hand. Because this wasn't depleted, another card was depleted. Now does that remove it? Okay, and depleted is exhaust. Okay. So again, it looks like already there are 2 instances of words like depleted, exhaust, agility, dexterity. There's already 2 instances of words not matching up. They should definitely all be matching. Shuffle rust into draw pile. I don't know what rush is, but this is pretty good damage. And I can kill one of these guys. I'll end up taking no damage because I have 13 block. So what are you doing? Let's see. I got brittle. Guard gain from cards is reduced by 25%. So maybe he was debuffing? Rust. Etheric unplayable. Gain some number 1 frail. It's kind of hidden by the other card. When drawn, if this card... Oh, wait. Frail. Isn't this frail? No, it's brittle. If this card is depleted, gain 1 feeble. Wait, is this a third instance? Because the text icon at the top of here says brittle, but this says frail. So that's 3 times now in the first battle that the keywords are not correct. That's kind of annoying. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this AoE damage here. We can't do anything else. We'll end our turn. And literally all we have... I mean, we have this. Oh, no. He's defenseless, so we can kill him. Okay, so we'll take our gold. Remove 1 random debuff. We'll take our potion. Choose a card. Quick slash. Deal 8 damage and draw a card. Gain 1 frail. Yeah, so like frail and brittle are 2 different keywords. Or they're the same keyword with 2 different names. That's super... I would definitely fix that. Flailing Hand. Deal X damage... X times 11 damage to all enemies. So right now we can just do 33 damage to everything. Yeah, it's insane. Oh, so these characters are definitely from an icon pack because she is 100% from the Last Flame. Like 100%. I would know this design anywhere. Okay, so we're taking 13 damage. What do we have here? Deal 4 damage at the end of turn. Reduce stacks by 1. Ew. Gross. So let's go ahead and throw on some guard. And let's go ahead and apply defenseless 2. Takes 50% more damage. Okay. Yes, doesn't this just kill? Yeah, it's absurd. Okay, choose card. Deal 3 damage for each card in hand. Deplete. Let's see, deal 8 damage twice, shuffle a worked up into the draw pile, and a work up is just a free draw? Yeah, that doesn't this wait, isn't this just insane? Because worked up is a free draw. It literally draws another card, and it gives 3 armor when it's drawn. And this is a 16 damage? Okay. So let's do the mystery. 3 enemies. But we can just do this. And get rid of the one that's attacking me. What is this? What is the green fist? I don't know what that was. We deal less attack damage and we get less guard. Okay. So let's do this. Let's get rid of the worked up. So that way we gain some. So I still don't know what Aetheric is because it's not showing me up here. Transmute card. Okay, that's an awful tooltip. Don't... You can't define a word. You can't... A definition of the word can't have the word in it. Transmute card. Transmute a card. Like, I understand that transmuting a card is going to transmute it, but I need to know what that means. I'm assuming it just means, like, change it. That's not gonna kill you. I can kill you, though. I can deal you some damage. Oh, but you're returning damage. Okay, so we need to... I don't have any way that I can block. Okay. Well, we'll just hit you. We have just another one. Gain X Rage. Okay, so you have deplete and gain energy. Why is Rage not here? Oh, Rage, it is. It's just like... It's hidden by the select card. Get a power-up when you reach 7 out of 12... When you reach 7 out of 12 Rage, why would that even be a thing? Okay. Let's see. Deal 7 damage. Yeah, I still don't know what Aetheric is. I'm not sure why that's not a keyword. I guess I'm not gonna take a second one of these. I think I'm just gonna pass. I think I'm totally fine. Okay, get me out of the fire biome. Taking a lot of damage here. Yeah, this card is beyond busted. We literally just win. Okay. Draw 2 cards. Draw 2 extra cards next turn. So draw 4 cards for 1 mana. Interesting. This card is bad. It does nothing for 2 mana. And we don't need to draw any extra cards. Yeah, I'm totally fine passing up on that. So let's hit a shop, see what kind of stuff we can buy. So we have cards. We have something over here. At the start of your turn, add a random scroll to your hand. This scroll is locked. You can unlock it once you collect counterfeit goods curio. Okay. We have some more curios down here. Whenever you draw worked up plus, gain 1 might. So first of all, you need to have a plus version of worked up. Unless that is specifically saying you need worked up or worked up plus, which might be the case. And then we have some potions. Choose 2 of 7 cards to add to your hand. I mean, I guess I'm going to take the rubber ring. Inner Fury block, Inner Fury rage. What does that mean? This doesn't mean anything to me. Like, tell me how much block or how much rage. Gain 10 guard? No. Deal 13 damage, apply 1 defenseless, 1 feeble. No, I'm just gonna take the rubber ring. Move on forward. Rest site. Okay. We can either heal or upgrade a card. Let's upgrade a card. Let's upgrade... What does this upgrade to? 9 damage twice, shuffle worked up plus. What does this turn into? 14? Jeez. Yeah, sure. That's absurd. Okay, what do we got here? Inner Instinct. Gain might when incantation is played. Deal 4 damage when ability is played. Shuffle 1 startled when attack is played. Sure. Well, I guess I'm just going to hit you a bunch. Did you not shuffle any startles into my deck? Or does that happen at the end of turn? What? Okay. 32, 48. Just shy. Just shy. Was he not at 50? So that only did it. That did 10 damage once. Interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and... yeah, let's see what card we get. Definitely not doing that. Let's apply Defenseless 2. I'm confused. Is he just not doing anything with this? Start... okay, this art just came out of nowhere. That's very off. Okay, if this... I was going to say, if this doesn't kill you... Inner Fury, sure. Let's take it and see what it does. Oh, I can't, because that's the end. Okay. Compendium. Can I see what it is in here? Choose one. Okay. This game needs a bit of work. Quite a bit of work. Yeah, the execution, I'm going to be honest, comes across as a Slay the Spire clone. Now, I've talked... now, that being said, there are a few things that differentiate it. One being the constellation system. However, we did basically no interaction with that system. So, as a early play test where your goal should be... hang on, let me take my headphones off because this music is super loud for me. You guys, it'll be fine for you guys, but for me it's loud. So when you have a play test... now, granted, this is not a demo designed to get you... to get people interested and maybe, like, plan on buying the game or early access. This is just kind of a proof of concept, I suppose. So that being said, it is there to test features, but, I mean, it is technically there to get people interested in your game, because whether you like it or not, playtest versus demo, it's free access, so they're basically synonymous with each other. That being said, if your primary thing that is setting you apart from... there's two primary things, in my mind, that are separating this from Slay the Spire. One is the constellation system, which we got one look at, so I don't know exactly how that system is going to play during runs. The second is the biome system. I will say the biome system is an interesting change to the Slay the Spire format. It is one that I don't think I've seen in a deck builder before. So that's at least decent. A lot of the cards, like the starting deck, is extremely similar to the Warrior from... the Warrior? I'm going to be honest, I forgot what the... no, Ironclad. Ironclad from Slay the Spire. A lot of the cards are very similar. You know, even if we just take a look. What were the ones that we had? Let's see. I mean, Garden Strike, I'm not even going to comment on those because every game has those. You know, Crush is another one that's just like every game has a high cost deal a bunch of damage, right? But it's game. Let me say it like this. I never have a problem of cards being very close to another game's actual cards. You know, it's because you kind of have to like change the game depending on how you want your cards to play. Like, for example, it would be very strange if a Pokemon card all of a sudden decided to copy the text on a Magic the Gathering card, because the games are so wildly different, and would be the same if a Yu-Gi-Oh card tried to copy a Pokemon card. Maybe it's happened in the past that they've kind of translated it into their own game, but where the actual format of the games themselves are similar, there's going to be some, you know, or in games where the formats are similar, you're going to have similarly formatted cards, right? So for example, we played, what was it? Is it Breach the Vault? Is that what it's called? You know, that had a very similar card structure to Slay the Spire, but the gameplay was very different. So I'm not always going to critique a game if their cards are similar to another game. However, you got to have like a couple features that kind of makes you a little bit different, that makes you stand out, because if someone's looking at the two games and being like, oh, should I purchase Slay the Spire or should I purchase Drakefall, you got to have a reason as to why you pick one over the other. And right now, there's not a whole lot for me to look at and be like, this differentiates you enough from Slay the Spire. You know, maybe that'll come in future versions, but right now, if this is what's hooking you on, a lot of the card art, I'm going to assume, hang on, I got the Steam page up, let me look at this. So this claims that AI generated artwork is only used for the events. However, some of this art, like this thing is it looks like it comes from two totally different games, in my opinion. This is like all like dark gothic, you know, fantasy style. I'm not going to say Diablo, but it's kind of that whole like, you know, the warrior from hell type stuff. And then you just have like this cutesy dragon like here. A lot of the art, maybe it's just placeholder, and to be fair, it is an early version of the game, so it's possible that it is placeholder. This looks like a bit too anime for the game. Just kind of looking over here. Is there anything else? Yeah, this startled felt way out of place. But again, oh, here we go. Inner Fury block. So yeah, like why is this just not? So why doesn't it just say Inner Fury block, gain 23 guard, Inner Flurry rage, gain 4 rage? Like, why doesn't it say that on the card? Why do I have to guess what it is? Yeah, so a lot of the cards are Aetheric was never defined. It was exhaust, basically. But that was another thing. Keywords were all over the place. There in the first match, we saw three keywords that had two different versions. It was Frail Brittle, Exhaust, Deplete, and I guess Aetheric is also a keyword that interacts with that. And what was the other one? I don't remember what the other one was. But I know that there was a third one. Anyway, yeah. So besides that, and I'm not really going to critique the character models being from a pack. That's whatever to me. That literally doesn't matter. I'm just kind of looking here just to see if I have anything that pops in my head. You have some small stuff, like there's a word that's like uncapitalized. Does that even matter? No, just kind of pointing out some things right here, just in case the dev's watching and it's looking on fire, like that's not capitalized. Just some small stuff here. I think the cards themselves, I think the design of the cards is actually pretty clean. There were a couple times when the cards were in hand that I couldn't read the full card because they were covered by other cards. I think that enemies, like if you hover over a character, maybe not tell me what the debuff is, that's fine, but I at least need to know that the symbol that's above their head is a debuff. And maybe clarify a little bit, maybe make the debuff, it was a little tough to quickly identify debuff and buff symbols. They were a bit too similar to each other, in my opinion. They were all circular, they were all circles, and a lot of them were just similar color with kind of black outlined symbols. To me, that is, and they were fairly small, at least from my eyes, but that's going to depend on the screen you're playing, right? I guess it's going to be in proportion to everything else. It's going to be the same size, but as for what it actually looks like on your screen, it's going to change size. But for me to just quickly look up and identify between two pale tannish circles and determine which one's which, there was Frail. Frail was definitely bright and colorful, but I think it was, what was it? It was the Might one, and it was Dexterity. Oh, that's what it was. Dexterity and Agility, right? So those were two different, that was the third different keyword. Those were like basically the same looking, at least in my eyes. So yeah, this one definitely needs a lot of touching up, but also needs to find a way to kind of differentiate it a bit more from the games that I would consider Slay the Spire adjacent, and even Slay the Spire itself. Because otherwise, it's like, why wouldn't you just play Slay the Spire? You know, a good example of this is a game that we've been playing on the channel recently. I'm not sure how many videos I will have released by the time this comes out, but is, oh shoot, what's it called? It's got some weird, it's got a name. Hold on. It does have a name. Dark Chaser Battle Tide. I think it's a weird translation because the game's originally Chinese. But that is a game that is very closely related to Brotato. A lot of the systems are basically exactly the same. But the things that differentiate it are, one, there's a massive skill tree for each individual character, and two, there is a multiplayer system where you can actually compete against somebody online, and not only, I think it's like a race, it's not a race, but it's to see who can last longer, but there's also ways that you can sabotage your opponent, so it's not just like the standard gameplay next to somebody else. You can choose different abilities at the start to, for example, stop your opponent from healing for a certain amount of time. You can spawn a giant wave of enemies. You can hinder their vision. So there's a lot of there's a couple different ways that differentiates even the single player gameplay. And so that's kind of, to me, is like, oh, yes, the gameplay is extremely similar to Brotato, but Brotato might not offer these other couple things that you might be looking for. And so that might be, you know, those like 5 to 10 percentage points that points you in a different direction. And so that's what I feel like this game needs, on top of just the, you know, various amounts of just telling the player stuff and making it all the same. Like, make the words the same across the board. That shouldn't be too difficult to do. But guys, let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Of course, if you did have fun, if you had a good time with me here today, would you kindly smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more roguelite action. I've been Ganyonz. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time.